welcome back to another episode of Where the Game Lives On, the official podcast of the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame and the Price Cutter Charity Championship. If you're joining us on YouTube, you probably see this big, huge trophy right here. And the reason for that, well, it's tournament week, right? I'm your host, Noah Tucker. This is my co-host, Byron Shive. How we doing, boss?
Doing well. How are you doing today, Noah?
It's great. You know, we are running every which way and getting ready to put on an awesome tournament. But, hey, if you're watching right now, check out this sick trophy. Seriously.
This is our new Price Cutter Charity Championship permanent trophy that will be on display at the Hall of Fame, listing all 33 previous winners. This will be the 34th tournament coming up this week. And coincidentally, we have the 33rd winner in our midst on the show today.
AKA the reigning champ. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, guys. I'm David Kocher from Charlotte, North Carolina. Won last year and excited to hopefully defend this year.
Of course. How's it feel to be back in Springfield in the 417 where you've got a win under your belt?
It feels awesome. I love this place. Played really well here last year. I think I hold the maybe tournament record or Korn Ferry record for most birdies in a tournament. So feel really good. Feel good about my game. Haven't played well kind of this season, but excited to get things rolling here, kind of where I got things rolling last year.
So defending champion, is there any, when you walk right in the locker room, is there any like Larry Bird where you walk in and say, who's finishing second this week? A little trash talk? Or
not really. I would say a few guys have made comments already, but it all starts at zero once we get started. So, I'm just excited to be back here. Feels comfortable. Have some good memories. Was telling some stories to the guy that I played with today, one of my good buddies, this morning, or was it yesterday? Yesterday. We just good memories out here.
Awesome.
For sure. I'm sure that your main focus right now is just like the first tee box on Thursday morning, but we got to ask you about last year. What was that like? To shoot that much under par and just honestly be out of your mind for 4 straight days.
Yeah, it was really cool. I just got off to a hot start the first round. I think I had 7 birdies. I don't even know where it started, but 7 birdies in a row. But then I kind of kept it going the last 3, and I don't think I had a bogey-free round kind of the whole year until I think my last round, maybe 1 or 2 before that. But really just played solid all year, or all tournament, and kind of was a combination of luck and just playing well at the right time. I'd felt like my game was trending and kind of proved it this week last year.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious. You just got in from Colorado, correct? Yeah. What is it like? I think most people probably don't look at it like we do. What's it like to go play at 5,000 elevation and then come somewhere like this where you're just in the humidity and the heat and the elevation isn't a factor?
It is so weird, honestly. Like you hit your first wedge shot on the range, you're expecting to go 140 yards and it goes 100 yards, and so it was very strange. I was telling my caddy last week, we missed the cut last week, unfortunately, but we were kind of talking about it, just how weird it would be getting back to sea level, or I don't even know is this a little bit above sea level?
We're about 1,325. Not that I've looked it up, but yeah.
We have mountains, but we don't have Rocky Mountains.
Hills, rolling hills, the Ozark Hills.
But yeah, it was funny. Hitting a few shots out there today. I think they're good. It looks visually like they're gonna go way further. I was on 11, and I have like 215 in, and I hit it's into the wind and. I'm like, I'm going to hit a little 3-iron, and it's like, wait a second, this is spinning up in the air. This is staying in the air, but not in a good way. And so it was funny, but it feels good to be kind of right around where Charlotte is elevation-wise, so I kind of know exactly how far the ball's going to drop.
You mentioned your caddy, and of course you mentioned 7 birdies in a row. I don't know if I've had 7 birdies in my entire life.
Join the club right there.
But the caddy-golfer relationship, how – can you explain a little bit about that, how important it is and kind of the dynamic? And obviously you two are out there by yourselves essentially.
Well, it was funny. So last year, going to the caddy thing, I think I'd made like 4 or 5 birdies in a row. And he's trying to get my mind off of anything but golf at that moment. Because it's the first round, but I'm like, he starts talking to me about all these different things. And I go, Parker, can you just shut up? Like I'm in the zone right now. I'm trying to make some more birdies, and you're trying to get my mind off anything but golf. He goes, well, boss, I thought you might want to think about something else. You might be nervous. And I know, Parker, you're the one that's nervous. It's the first round of a tournament. I'm like, I'm not nervous at all. And so it was funny, but no, I mean, Parker's, one of my best buddies. He's in my wedding. He's from North Carolina originally, but we met through one of my buddies, mutual friend, and it's been a great relationship. We've worked together for a year and a half now, and he's a great caddy. He's a really good friend, and he keeps my mind kind of occupied when I'm out there in the moment. And it helped last year as well. Coming down the stretch, I had no idea where I was. It was funny, like we looked at the leaderboards at different points in the round, and it was never. We would look up there and we would never see the first page of the leaderboard. It would always be like the second or third page or fourth page. And I'm like, I have no idea where I'm at. And he's like, I have no idea either. Like, you could be leading, and fortunately I had like a 6-shot lead, but my mind starts racing and he's trying to calm me down and everything. So, but he's such a good person as well.
Whenever you talk about that caddy relationship, and I'll kind of circle this back to the elevation, or really just any kind of changes you guys are making whenever it comes to your practice rounds and things like that. I mean, what are you guys doing leading up to the tournament to make sure that you know what club you're using in this position?
Yeah, he walks the course before I get there. This week makes it a little easier since I've had success here, and a lot of the other courses on the Korn Ferry Tour I've played well as well. So I kind of know what I should do, but he walks the golf course beforehand and kind of tells me, it's a little softer here. You might want to aim a little further right or left. Just get some lines off of tees, marks the slopes in the books, because the books change each year. The course doesn't change, but the slopes and the greens, kind of where they're at on the book, might be a yard or two different. So he'll walk them just to make sure everything's good. And I think the biggest thing is just giving me confidence out there. He always tells me, you have to, you have to think you're the best player in the world when you're out here, and he gives me the confidence to feel like that. Sometimes I don't feel like that at all, but he helps me feel like that a lot more times than not.
In terms of the you mentioned you have to have that mindset.
Yeah.
The line between the best and the worst that are here this week is just minuscule.
Yeah.
How do you guys explain a little bit about just how good you guys are?
Yeah, I would say kind of the biggest thing is you look at a lot of guys that go Monday qualifying to PGA Tour events and earn special temporary status. I mean, a lot of these guys are just normal Korn Ferry guys, and then go out there and do something crazy, and they're like, where did this guy come from? It's like these guys are really good. Yeah. Come out here and you look at the names on these trophies, like Mackenzie Hughes is on it. Yeah. A lot of guys, Harry Higgs. I mean, I'm just looking at the right here, and you see a lot of even former buddies and everything. Like, they're on the PGA Tour doing really, really well. So it's not, there's not much of a line that's different, I would say. I would say sometimes it's just people's weeks versus others, and sometimes it's people's seasons versus others. So, I'm excited kind of where my game's at, and, hopefully, when I get to that next level, I can stay there and play really well, because I, truly believe that there's obviously a difference in why those guys are staying up there, but there's really not that big of a difference.
Now, there's a big difference between going out and playing well one day and a Monday qualifier.
Yes.
To win a tournament, you got to do it 4 days in a row. So how do you wake up in the morning? It's a whole new round of golf. So you led it wire to wire last year, but how do you go to sleep with a lead, or you're playing well and the next day, how do you keep it rolling?
I'd say last year, actually, it was funny. It was so hot here that it almost...
It's like 105 degrees for 10 days in a row. It made
sleeping a lot easier, because you're so tired coming off the golf course. Yeah. But I was definitely nervous. I hadn't led a tournament wire to wire since, I don't think, maybe 2015, 2016. So it was definitely cool. It was a new experience for me. I've won on the Korn Ferry in the past, and it was just a different experience coming from 5 behind in the last round and winning on PGA Tour China. It was kind of the same deal. So winning out here, I know is really hard, and people can go, especially on a golf course like this where you have to make birdies. Yeah. I know people can kind of force your hand and feel like you're kind of under a lot more pressure, I feel like, than you are. But I kept telling my caddy, and I talked to my coach beforehand, was like, stay patient. Bad things are going to happen during this round, or bad things are going to happen during this tournament. It's how you recover from them and how you kind of process them yourself. So I kept telling myself, I'm going to hit bad shots, but I've hit those bad shots before and I've recovered from them, or I've, made birdies from worse situations, or I've played better rounds of golf. It's just a round of golf. And so you kind of have to believe, anything can happen. I could win. I could, finish 5th, and, I could play really well both days. So I kept telling myself, if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. And, luckily it did happen last year.
Yeah, something I'm kind of curious about with you, obviously on the Korn Ferry, there's no time to like take off a tournament, and there's so many different places you guys play. Whenever you play in a course that like you have to hit low at to be in contention, does that change your mindset at all, or are you just going out there and playing your game?
I would say sometimes it can change the mindset a little bit. I'd say the biggest thing is like still staying patient. I mean, you're out there and you realize you have a lot of wedges in your hand. Statistically, you're going to make more wedges or birdies with wedges in your hand anyway than say last week where you have a lot of 8 irons, 7 irons, 6 irons. So I would say like the biggest thing for me is just like kind of getting out of your own way. Like this is a golf course where you can kind of let your wedges shine, and if you're driving it well and putting it well that week, you can shoot a lot under, and just kind of just staying patient and true to yourself and just going out there and having fun, because it's a really fun golf course. And that's kind of the biggest thing I take away from it. It's one of the more fun golf courses we have all year. And you can kind of, get after it if you're wedging it well. And so that's kind of the biggest thing is like, I wouldn't say my game plan really changes. I would say it's like, you can force your hand a little bit. Like if I need to make a birdie here, I can be a little bit more aggressive, but like you can still get some tough spots around this golf course for sure.
You talk about, using your wedges and those being on point during this tournament. I don't want to make any assumptions here, but whether it's, the drives or the approach on the green, what do you see as like the strongest aspect of your game where you separate yourself from other guys?
I would say I'm a really good putter. It's kind of changed, ever since getting out of college. I would never say in college I was a great putter. I was a consistent putter, but never it stood out in my game. It's kind of gotten that way ever since kind of my second year on Korn Ferry, or second season on Korn Ferry. I would say I kind of have separated myself as a really good putter, where I actually haven't driven the ball as good or wedged it as well or hit my irons as close, but I would say my putting has kind of stood out. I view myself as probably one of the top 5 or 10 putters out here. So if I'm putting it well, like I did last year, I can roll in a lot of putts, and my speed control is really good, so I don't have many 3 putts. So I would say like I'm a very catch and shoot putter. So like I don't really see I see the line a little bit, but I don't feel it out. I'm not an aim point guy. I'm not like a person that's picking a spot and going for it. I'm just like stepping up to it, getting good feel, and as long as I feel comfortable, then hopefully I'll hit a good putt. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing is like, you step on a tee box or you step on a second shot, if you're not comfortable, are you really going to pull off that shot? Probably absolutely not. But for me, it's like I step over a putt. I'm like, if I'm not comfortable, I'll aim a little bit here or there, and hopefully I wouldn't say hopefully that's right. More times than not, it's right. But it's just like, you putt so many times, and I'm a good enough putter where like you step up to it and you're like, this feels right, and so I'll just go ahead and putt it then.
You said a catch and shoot putter?
Yeah, catch and shoot. It's like basketball. It's like if I'm shooting a 3-pointer, I'm not gonna like take 5 minutes to see where the basket is. I'm just gonna look at the basket and shoot it. And so it's like a very feel based, and I would say chipping is kind of the same way. Once we get into irons, I'm a little bit more pick out my target and a little bit more, I would say, aim or like pinpoint with those. But with my putter, I'm like the hole's this big, the ball can go in so many different ways. And so I'm just like, whatever I feel like it's going to go in that way, I'll kind of aim up there and hopefully it goes in.
Yeah. Yes or no? Are you a big analytics guy?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I look at it, but most of the time it's just, how I feel that particular day. I'll kind of be a little bit more or less aggressive. I do, statistics and everything, and I look at them, but I don't try to dive too deep into them because some weeks when you feel really good, if it says to be a little bit less aggressive, like if I'm feeling really good, I'm more times than not going to pull off the shot. So
gotcha. Whenever you're out on the range and stuff, are you always tracking your balls and everything like that?
Sometimes, like people last week had all these flight scopes, TrackMan, GC quads, measuring ball speed, launch angle, all that stuff. I do that with my wedges just to make sure they're going a specific distance and what I need them to. But after that, I feel like I can hit a 7-iron 170 yards. I can hit 180 yards. But having that feel aspect of it, like when you're on the golf course, you don't have one of those sitting behind you where you're hitting on a range. So you kind of have to go out there and be a little bit more creative. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes that's a little bit lost, and people just go out there and they're like so in love with their statistics, numbers, and looking at the data and everything, and they kind of lose that creative aspect.
Yeah, I like that though, because I agree with you. Everything you see, whether you're watching Full Swing or whatever it might be, that's the most insight we get. But it's like guys are worried about like my club speed, my revolutions per minute, and all that. And I like that.
It makes a lot of sense. If you're like that, I think it can really benefit you. I'm not like that. I still do it just to see the stuff and see what I need to improve on in certain areas. But most of the time, it's like, hey, like I go out there and I see a shot, and I'm like, okay, I see that shot. I'm very comfortable with that shot, and maybe the analytics or my, launch monitor will tell me it's not the best shot for that, particular hole. But
you sound like you're a field golfer.
I'm definitely more of a field golfer. I'm very comfortable kind of, hitting certain shots versus other shots, even though it just, the hole might set up for a different shot. It's kind of, I've kind of transitioned, I think, from that throughout my professional career and just being a little bit more in love with, trusting myself rather than trusting what it says I should do.
You're rocking the Srixon cap today. Speaking of which, off the record here, if you would like to sponsor this podcast, please contact the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. So in terms of sponsors, how does that come about? I mean, do they approach you? Do you approach them? I mean, you got some logos on the shirt. I mean, how does that the business aspect of it come about?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like it can happen, a number of different ways. My buddy, played with a guy in a pro-am and, helped him out. I have, a couple family sponsors on my shirt and everything. And it's cool. It's nice to be able to have the, family support or local support. And a lot of that usually is, unless you're, way up there on the big tour, it's like a lot more local stuff, which is cool as well because you get to know the people in your community and everything.
I'm not seeing the net jets up there.
No net jets yet. I'm a little bit, scared of turbulence myself, so I don't know if I could do the net jets. But first class is fine with me if I get there. So yeah.
Speaking of the apparel, though, that we're talking about, some of the guys on the Korn Ferry said I had to ask you. You're known apparently for your belt game.
I do have good belt games. Yeah.
Flash it for me real quick.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Black belt. Black belt. Yeah.
Little Terrapin action. Okay.
I don't know who you asked, but yeah, I got
insider information.
I got good belt game. Yeah, I got a North Carolina belt. Very similar to this one. I have a few floral belts. You never really know, but I'll have to show them out the next few days.
Right.
Then.
I'm kind of curious though, like kind of like a baseball player though. Is that something that you kind of have a superstition about or something?
No, not really. It's just in college it was like you look good and feel good. So I wouldn't say adopted that, but it's just like you want to look good on the golf course and everything, and have nice shirts and nice growing up it's like somebody wears a nice FootJoy shirt or Peter Millar shirt, you're like, oh, that's a nice shirt. They're probably a good player. And so you go out there and you're like,
trust me,
I want to look good.
Always mean that.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't always mean that.
This guy right here though, Payne Stewart.
Yeah, it's. But I would say it's funny. Like a lot of my belts, like I've gotten as presents or I've gotten it. It's funny. Like I got 2 of them last year at TJ Maxx, and they're probably my 2 best belts.
Oh wow!
And it's just like clearance. Like nobody's gonna buy these belts, and I'm like, no, these are awesome belts. like I wore them to the Bahamas last year, and I'm like, these are definitely going in the bag. So
you're not a father?
What?
You're not a father?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
no.
That kind of sounds like a dad thing, though.
No, it's definitely a dad thing.
TJ Maxx?
No, it's definitely a dad thing. Yeah, we needed a new suitcase, and my fiance was like, we need to go to TJ Maxx. They have great suitcases. And I was like, I'm going for the belts. So, yeah.
So what's the MO, though, with the belt? Is it kind of like just what you're feeling that day? You trying to match it to the outfit?
I definitely try to match it to the outfit. Yeah. It kind of changes. Like, I definitely have probably 6 belts I travel with, but I have probably 40 belts at home. And it's just like cool golf courses or different logos or whatever. I really want a Hornets belt. Charlotte Hornets. Okay. Charlotte Hornets belt. Panther belt would be cool, but a Charlotte Hornets belt.
A little Jumpman logo, maybe?
Not the Jumpman logo.
Okay.
He's not the owner anymore. He's minority owner.
Oh,
but
that's right.
That was going to be my question of the day. We'll get to that.
But, Hornets logo would be a sick belt. Yeah.
Awesome.
Price Cutter Pro-Am is coming up today.
Yeah.
How do you guys like? You're playing the Pro-Am each week. Is that something you guys look forward to for the practice? Is it just we got to do that? I mean, how do you guys look at it?
It just kind of depends on the group. Some groups are a little bit more serious and want to win the Pro-Am, and then you'll kind of be like, okay, well.
Then there's me and Noah.
Yeah, and then you kind of just have to kind of match the personality to whatever you're feeling that day. some groups are just like, I'm just going to drink a ton and have a lot of fun, and that's okay with me. It's my rule is like, they're out there to see, you in your element.
Sure.
You hit a few good shots, so hopefully I can hit a few good shots, make a few birdies, and help the team out. But they're a lot of fun. I mean, it is fun. Like on a week like this, where a lot of the same pro-am groups show up each year. You hear stories about other pros, or and some years there are new tournaments where the AMs just don't know what a pro-am is like. So you're kind of coaching them through the whole thing as well. So it is cool. It's just it's a cool thing that golf does that's different than other sports, which is awesome as well.
Yeah. Super typical director question right there.
Yeah.
Tournament director question. So we talk about a lot of golf on this podcast. We like to mix it up a little bit, include some other sports. Yeah. Here's basically what we do, right? We like to discuss and have all these debates around the office and whatnot. So we have a question of the day, right? So to keep us off of golf, the question, pretty simple for you. We'll start us off here is, what is your favorite sport to watch in your free time other than golf?
Okay. Well, it's definitely not golf. I would say favorite sport to watch. So I'm a huge Penn State football fan. I went to Maryland,
Okay.
But my whole family went to Penn State. Grandparents, uncles and aunts, brothers, sisters, parents. So I'm a huge Penn State football fan.
Born in New Jersey, went to school in Maryland, live in North Carolina.
Yes.
Like Penn State.
My whole family's from Central Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And
So have you ever been to a whiteout game then?
I've been to 10. Oh, it's incredible.
It is pretty cool.
Not going this year, unfortunately. We have a
Okay.
tournament during it, but went last year, took my fiance for the first time. She's never been to a Penn State game, and she said she went to South Carolina. So obviously, huge football tradition, SEC and everything.
Great tailgating tradition in Columbia.
Oh, great tailgating. And there's just nothing like it. I mean, I've been to a lot of different college football games, and they're going to be pretty good this year. You have to watch out for them.
Sure.
So
I'm from Indianapolis,
Okay.
lived in Missouri, went to law school in Oklahoma, Florida State fan. So
okay, gotcha. Makes it.
That's what I'm all about.
It's all
I get it.
But yeah, I'm a big Penn State fan. Love football in general. I have like 8 fantasy teams.
Okay.
So with all my buddies and everything, and I'm a huge Hornets fan. So, but if I had to pick one, it would be Penn State football.
So I grew up in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I'm a Colts fan.
Okay.
So now Frank Reich
Yeah.
is the Carolina head coach. So how's everything down in Carolina with Frank Reich coming aboard?
I think it's gonna be pretty good. Bryce Young, new quarterback. We have Josh McCown as our quarterback coach. So I think things are going to be. I don't know if we're going to do too well this year, but next few years I think we're going to be a pretty good team, or at least be better than we were the last few years. We were awful the last few years.
I hate to say it. I think a lot of people are jumping on the Carolina Panthers hype train right now.
I agree. I really good offensive system. We have already a really good defense, so I'm excited to see what we do. I live from here to this door away from the practice facility. So I live right behind Bank of America Stadium, and so I watch. I wouldn't say I watch Panthers practice, but I walk by there on the way to coffee shop in the morning or whatever.
And they say, "Hey, David," as you're walking.
They definitely don't do that. They say, "Get out of here." They have guards right alongside. They're like, nobody is watching our practice. But
just tell them you won the Price Cutter Charity Championship.
They'll know exactly who I am. Yeah, no, but it is cool, being that close to the action and everything. And I've seen tickets to the Panthers games. I've seen tickets to the Hornet games with a few buddies each. So, I think we're gonna be pretty good though. I really like the NFC South or NFC South is awful. They're terrible. So I don't know. Maybe we could make some noise this year.
I don't know. I'm an OU guy, OU football. So you're saying the South is awful, but who's quarterback coming in the division there?
That's exactly.
Baker Mayfield. Come on now.
We just had him last year. He was awful.
Wait, that is the right division though, right? I'm in the right division.
Well, first of all, let's not talk about Baker.
Well, and my fiance and her family they grew up in Cleveland, so they're huge Cleveland Browns fans. And so
they're the worst.
So they're my AFC team now. She's going to take me to my first Browns game this year. Super excited about that. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
So you're marrying into a Browns family.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, I just like big classic.
I am as well.
Yeah, big classic football teams. I think so. Penn State, the Browns, Panthers. I mean, they're young, but it's still cool. Big sports tradition family. So
you're, I think you said you're just got engaged.
Yes.
Getting married.
October 15th.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Are you letting her plan the wedding? Are you participating in the details?
I'm participating in as much as I can.
You're not busy or anything, you know.
It's funny. She's been a rock star through all this.
Yeah.
I mean, she's killing it. She's doing a lot of like, the planning and everything. But I'm trying to help out as much as I can.
Sure.
It's hard. I mean, being on the road, it's hard on both of us. But it's good. I mean, we've taken care of a lot of things, so we kind of have to. I mean, just little things that we have to take care of now. So. But it's fun planning a wedding. I wouldn't say it's like so fun, but it's cool. Like it's like your first big thing you're doing together. So it's cool.
So you get married in Charlotte?
In Charlotte, yeah. So it's like 5 minutes from both of our places.
Let's divulge all the details of his wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not
Where's
to
it at? What time?
Not to get too personal here,
Yeah.
but like you're talking about all the planning and stuff. Whenever you're on the tour and you're grinding and you're going to the pro-ams and playing the tournaments, making cuts, how much time do you have at home? How do you balance that?
It's funny. Like if I miss a cut, last week I didn't go home. But usually, like if I miss a cut, I'll go home, and I haven't missed too many. I think I've missed like 4 or 5 cuts this year. I can't really remember, but yes. So I haven't been home that much, it's been tough, but it's good because she'll travel a little bit. She's coming this week. She's coming next week. And she'll come out to a lot more once we're married and kind of this, the wedding is kind of out of the way and everything. And we can she can travel a lot more. So we're both excited about that, but it's good. I mean, it's funny. She has a roommate right now. And so she's busy at home with wedding planning, hanging out with her roommate, hanging out with all of her friends before we get married. And I'm doing kind of my thing on the road, and she works a full-time job as well. So she's really I mean, it's funny. Like I would say I'm busy. She's way busier than I am. So I'm kind of just, living the life and having fun out here. So
saying you're the support character, the sidekick.
Oh yeah. When I'm at home, I'm, I take care of the dog. I'm doing all these things. So it's fun. I love being home. I love being on the road, but
young and hungry, man.
As the only married guy in the room, happy wife, happy life, guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Nice. We got to get the question though. Favorite sport to watch?
I love. It depends. I mean, I love college football. I love college football. You wake up on a Saturday in the fall and it's like that crisp air outside. It's sweatshirt weather, and you got a slate of games starting at noon.
Wait, you're a Florida State fan. There's not many sweatshirts down there.
Well, I mean, I live in a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I love watching. Even if Florida State's not playing, which they haven't been good for a while, they should be good this year though.
Yeah.
Just watching those games of the week. You got the number 1 versus number 2, whatever. I love college football.
So we're 3 college football guys. I like it. You have any questions for him though?
If you need us to ship your trophy for the reception to have it on display for all your people to see, just let us know.
That's we'll do. We'll do. That'd be awesome. Some flowers in the basket.
But see,
maybe.
if you do that, we're gonna know the address and the date then. So.
Perfect. Awesome.
We'll be hand delivering it.
Yeah.
Wedding crashers.
Well, that's about bringing us to the end of our time here, David. Greatly appreciate you being on here, man. Best of luck.
This week, absolutely.
We have to remain unbiased, but former champion, we're going to be watching you closely. You just do what you do, man.
Go low.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys having me.
Well, if you like what we do here, be sure to give us a like on YouTube, follow us, give us a review on Apple Podcasts. We come out with weekly episodes every Wednesday morning. Feel free to tune in. Everything Missouri Sports Hall of Fame related, and especially this time of year, Price Cutter Charity Championship related. We've got the tournament kicking off tomorrow on the 20th. If you want to come out, feel free. Get you a ticket. Watch some really, really good golfers. Anything, boss?
Nope. Just hope to see you out at the tournament this week.
All right, that's all we got. Join us next time on an episode of Where the Game Lives On.